This is exactly what I did to make my first $10,000 in profit selling name brand products on Amazon a few years ago. I'm gonna walk you through how I did it, how I found my first few products, what I did right, what I did wrong, so you can copy me. Let's get after it. Most people don't know that over 60% of products sold on Amazon actually come from everyday people like you and I, third-party sellers, and online arbitrage lets us sell discounted name brand products people are already searching for without buying products from China, without buying risky products in bulk, and without spending a dime on marketing or anything like that. Stuff like this Jellycat stuffed animal, for example, that we can see is going for 32 bucks on Amazon. We can also see that it has a bunch of reviews, so we know people buy this specifically. However, the best way to tell demand for products on Amazon is going to be taking a look at the sales rank, aka BSR, which shows how fast a product specifically sells. For the most part, you want to stay below like a 150,000 or 200K sales rank for the most part. The lower the BSR, the better. A 10K BSR sells much better than a 50K BSR, which sells much better than a 150K BSR. For example, the toy category specifically is a little bit smaller of a category. Not that that specifically matters, but that just puts this 96K rank in the 2% of the category. Don't worry about that. Focus on the overall rank specifically though, right here. And what a lot of beginners get wrong about selling on Amazon is one, they try to start out with wholesale or private label, which are way too complicated and expensive. And then if they do start out with online arbitrage, which is the right way, in my opinion, it's what made me my first $100,000 in profit, is they think it takes a bunch of complicated and expensive software. All it takes instead, guys, is literally just SellerAmp right here, which is 20 bucks a month. You can try it completely free on our website, selleramp.com. And the Keepa Chrome extension right here, which shows the supply, demand, and price action over time. So let's take a look at how that actually works, for example, right here, guys. So we can see the current buy box on this product is $32 right here. So taking a look over here on SellerAmp, SellerAmp's our profit calculator, which actually takes into account shipping, fees, sales tax, literally everything like that. The max cost on this item is $16.77 in order to hit our ROI criteria of 30% or more. Taking a look over here on this website, we can see there's actually a 15% coupon code we can use, and the product's going for about 16 bucks. So for example, if we plug in $15.99 here, this is already good after shipping, fees, product costs, etc. However, you want to put in all these little tips and tricks that we can use to get items cheaper. And a great way to do that is using that 15% code that we looked at that just popped up right there. Probably also shows at the bottom right here. Yeah, we can see the email sign up right there. So if you want to go ahead and use these unlimited, you literally just have to like put in your email, then a plus sign, and type in a bunch of gibberish, for example, right there. And you can just loop them right there. So we can see a cost of $15.99 in here, but we can actually do math within SellerAmp to take off that 15%, for example, right here. And we can go ahead and make this buy cost $13.59. And now that makes this $8 profit and a 60% ROI. As a complete beginner, one thing I didn't do well was build like a set product research criteria and really build my own methods over time. If you want one of those for a beginner, I would say do $3 plus profit per unit, 30% plus ROI, and below a 200K BSR right here, for example. And then what we want to do is also take a look down here on Keepa. And when you initially get Keepa, you just plug it in on your Google Chrome store. For example, right here, it's a nice Chrome extension. You'll see 3 charts. I'd recommend going here and hitting sub ranks to take out that middle chart. The middle chart's pretty much useless, for example. And now what you need to know about Keepa is that the bottom chart shows the competition and the top chart shows the sales rank and the price action over time. So SellerAmp shows you something's good today, and Keepa shows you if something's good over time. And we can see in this case, the competition has nicely been trending down on the Keepa chart, right? So we can see literally all the history since this has been added on Amazon. You primarily want to take a look at the 3-month data here when you're a beginner though. Right, and we can see this is nicely trending down, and then the price was going for around like 28, for example, 30, right? And now it's up at like, for example, as high as like 32 even in the buy box right there, for example. So we can see the buy box going up, competition's going down right there. And another mistake I made as a beginner was not taking a look at the Keepa as much. I have full tutorials on SellerAmp and Keepa on my channel, but that led me to making bad buys was not knowing how to fully use Keepa correctly. right there, for example, too. So now we can see this is a nice profitable product, but how do we find other profitable products from here, for example? And what I did when I was a beginner a little bit too much was go to random websites and take a look through the clearance section. What makes a lot more sense is taking a look inside the storefronts of other Amazon sellers to see what they're actually selling. Sellers that we can see we know are making lots of profit. How do we do that? We see sellers that have lots of reviews right here. So we can just scroll down here and see, okay, what sellers are making lots of profit, for example, on here. So we can see, like, for example, 50 plus reviews, probably making some good profit here, for example, right? 88 reviews, take a look at that as well, too. Right here, 77, right? So these are sellers that we know are making lots of money. For example, 146 reviews, right? We don't want any of these low review sellers for the most part here, 612, right? And now we can go ahead and see these sellers that we know are making a good amount of money. And now what we can do is using Seller Amp, we can actually see, quick interruption from the video, guys. If you want personalized one-on-one help directly from me, I have something for you. Now's a perfect time to apply for my coaching program. If you want direct, personalized one-on-one help from me, we'll pot up a whole bunch of my student results up here on screen. We got a ton more coming up this Q4 as well. So if you want to be a part of that, take a look at the link in the description, put in your information, and go ahead and apply. Back to the video. All the different categories they carry right here. And we can see all their best performing products right here that have a low sales rank at the top of their storefront here. And instead of going to random websites and take a look at their clearance section, we can just see all their products that we know are actually selling well in here, for example. And the cool thing about online arbitrage is you're going to be carrying tons of different products in your storefront at any one time, specifically here. So for example, right, there's like Williams-Sonoma stuff, for example, right? We can go ahead and see if any of that stuff's profitable, for example, right? And if other people are selling it, they're finding it profitable somewhere. And if they can find it somewhere profitable, we will too. Obviously, when you're a beginner, you're just learning this, it's going to take time to find winning products, but now it gets pretty easy once you've been doing it for a while. So for example, we can see 52K rank, we know people are making money on that, for example, right? 200K rank, we know people are making money on that, for example, right here. We can see bog bags, for example, right here. 141K rank, we can take a look at that, for example, too, right? We can see more Jellycat stuff, for example. We found that one good. Right here, we can take a look at this guy too, for example. 71K rank, we know people are making money on that, for example, right? 82K rank, we know people are making money on that, right? We can see 11 seems a little bit cheap right there specifically, and we can just take a look through all these seller storefronts here and find other winning products from here, for example. So we can see like MAC, right? This is like makeup, for example, and you just want to find sellers you know are making money, and we can see like this seller's got 600 reviews, they're making some good money. You can take a look through all these and you just post up and go through these seller storefronts and try to find stuff that's nice and profitable, for example, right here. So we can see like 35K rank, we'll take a look at that. 26K rank, take a look at that, for example. And I'm also going to show you guys how to actually list products on Amazon too here in a sec as well. So to start off here, right, when I see a product that has a bunch of variations, I like to go to the variations tab on Keepa right here. And now I can see like, like this one's going for like 42. For example, right here, their competition is trending up a little bit though, so I don't love that. I do recommend taking a sec here and organizing your columns correctly. If you're going to keep it, just take a second, it's really helpful. Right here, so we can see 42, for example, it's like holiday themed here. The holidays are coming up. This could totally see some pretty good demand here, right? And we know it's going to be selling well because that sales rank is good, for example. So we can see right here, so price is trending down a little bit, right? It does have the IP warning. We would need to take a look at this and see if there's anything on the Keepa chart where the offer count was nicely full and round, just plummeted down where the brand kicked everyone off, basically. For example, you always want to take a look at that here. And we can see like, holiday, for example, right here. Let's see, holiday stripe kit towels here. Let's see. Okay, bath towel, for example. So these are kitchen towels right here, holiday stripe towels right here. For example, let's see, is there like different sizing? Don't always know that here. Let's see. Example, dishcloths right here, classic towels here, for example, holiday stripe towels right here. Let's see, so you would want to match up the sizing specifically on these, and I'm not sure if they fully match. For example, right here, take a sec, but purely based on the profitability perspective right here, we can see these are actually pretty good here. And one thing I love using is what's called discounted gift cards via Card Bear and Top Cashback, which is another good way to get discounts. Right, so we can see like Williams-Sonoma right here, for example, we can get another 6% off in this case, right? You just have to make sure it's the same item, for example, right there. So if we take a look at that, we can see even more profitable, for example, right here. It does have the suspected IP though, so we would have to take a look at the Keepa chart and see if there's any big drops specifically right there as well. But that was pretty close to being good, for example, right here. We can see this item, right? You just get in a rhythm looking through all these different products here, for example. So we can see this item's nice and stable, for example, right here. Full Send Supply right there. That's a funny store name right here. Dish towels, for example, right here. Let's see. Let's see, so we can see cotton right here, towel set, for example, right here. So we're here at 22.95. Pretty close to being good, and we can see there's actually some buy box share going higher here as well. It's a huge mistake I made, and a lot of beginners make us not looking where the buy box is actually going, because all the time when you take a look on Keepa, you can actually price above the current buy box, which we can see in this case. It does not look like 42 is out of the ordinary, for example, right there. And then we want to take a look at the discounted gift card too, as well as like 6% Williams-Sonoma right there too. Very, very good pro tip. Another thing I like to do is see if I can use a tax-exempt permit on different retailers, for example. So that's a really good thing you can get from your state's website to go ahead and save sales tax as well. You just want to make sure you're following all the rules. For example, right there, so we can look up like, does Williams-Sonoma do tax-exempt, for example, right here. And we can see, yeah, Google's AI hooks it up. Yeah, so we can see right here, present a signed reseller certificate, in-store, online, boom. I currently have 5% sales tax factored in on SellerAmp, so we would actually go ahead and take this off in this case. For example, right here, we can see now that listing gets even better, and this listing actually has been nice and profitable over time. We just want to go ahead and match up the sizing, for example, right there. We can see this is 13, for example. That looks really cheap. We'll go ahead and see if there's any good variations moving on this here as well. And then this is the name of the game here with Storefront stalking, y'all. And we can see, like, yeah, this one's up at 32 and is really nice and stable. For example, a lot of good offer count movement on these. This is okay, but it is also way more expensive than other variations, so it makes sense that it would be. For example, right there. So we'll get ahead and see right here. So we can see 33 on these guys here. So let's see. So we're here at 33, and we need to pay 18 or less, for example. So I'll just go ahead here and Google this product using SellerAmp right here. Let's see, bogbag.com. We want these seahorse ones, for example. Let's see here. Let's see if they got that color right here. So let's see. Let's see here. Rope, seahorse. Okay, so we can see 13, for example, right here. We can see nice and profitable. That's a really good product. The problem is they're actually out of stock right here. We can see like sold out, for example, right here. So what I would do in this case is, this is another thing I didn't do as well as I could have, is keeping leads organized right here. And what I would do in this case is, a lot of beginners would find a winning product and it's out of stock, and then they just keep it moving. Instead, what I want you to do is one-click export these out to a Google Sheet in SellerAmp to actually keep these leads organized, for example, to come back to over time. So we can see, right, nice and profitable. Unfortunately, it's just out of stock. That happens. Websites restock from time to time. So if you're watching this, you might as well go ahead and add that to, a spreadsheet, for example, in your case too, right? Because I think that makes a lot of sense right here. We can see competition's trending up on this guy a little bit here, but we can see buy box is going around like 35. For example, right here, right, we can see this one seller undercut a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, it's literally just these two sellers. Sometimes that'll happen. It's pretty annoying. For example, right here, we can see like at 35, right, where it's been consistently. I would probably avoid this and see if those sellers sell out, for example, but it was up there for a while here, right? We want to pay 18 or less. So go ahead. Okay, so this is actually on a bunch of places, for example, and we want to see if any of these guys have an additional coupon here too. But either way, like, that's nice and profitable where that is. For example, right, we would just need to go ahead and make sure that those sellers that were undercutting sell out. I'm never a fan of speculating. I only want to buy stuff that's profitable today. So that's something I would probably come back to in the future that's not quite there specifically today, right? So we can see 28, for example. Right here, more realistically right around like 29 or 30, 31, for example, right out right here. So we can see at 30, right, we want to pay 15.73 or less, right? So you want to go ahead and plug this in, for example. Right, so we can see like 19, for example. Looks like a bunch of places carry this. Right, okay, is there any sort of coupon code right here, for example? Yeah, 17, so I'd always want to do, you can always ask customer service too if there's any sort of coupon codes, for example, 17, though retail. Pretty close to being good, not quite there though, right? Has this ever been good historically? Yes, this was actually really historically good. Back up here as well, like 34, for example. Right there, just not good today, but ton of historic profitability on this item. The offer count's just gone up and therefore the price has gone down. So not quite there, unfortunately, unless there's like a big coupon on one of these sites here. Let's see. Take a look here as well. Let's see. This looks like a pretty good deal too. 15. It's a slightly different one here though. So this is, let's take a look at this as well here. So it's a different color here. 19. Any sort of coupon here? Let's see. Don't think so right here. No problem. We take a look at this as well too on that. Let's see. Jellycat here. Let's go ahead and plug this in here. 15 here, 32. Ooh, okay. Okay, 10% off here. So let's see. Birding blue-tailed. Okay, this looks really good though here. This is a different item, but for example, it does look very promising. It's lagging a little bit here. Yeah, so we can see this is a different item here, but we totally want to look this guy up here. We can see it's going for like 32 and a little bit higher there as well, 33. Right, so let's see right here. We can see baby blue, 18. Boom, here we go. Okay, so we can see right there, right, 18 for example, right here. Right, buy box price going up at like, yeah, 32, 33 for example, right there. And we can see pretty close to being good right here, but because the holidays are coming up, I'd definitely be comfortable in something like this, even though it has a little bit lower of an ROI, for example, right here. I can see it has sold pretty well over the long term, and different times when the competition's gone down a lot, the price has gone way up, and it looks like the competition's starting to go down as well here. Right, and we can see this listing's nice and in stock right there too. And we want to see if there's any sort of coupon we can take a look at here as well. And it's always a good idea to verify if a supplier is legit. Always check out through PayPal for speed and security, and look up if they have a brick and mortar location, for example here. To verify if a site's legit, you always want to see if they have a brick and mortar location, see what their Trustpilot and their Google reviews look like, and always check out through PayPal for added security and speed right there. And this is an example of a nice, profitable, winning online arbitrage products. And we actually found a couple examples of stuff that was closed, right, or out of stock. And then literally a ton of other examples of products we can see people are making money on in these seller storefronts right here. And then what I also want to show you guys how to do is literally the whole end-to-end process. So we saw how to use SellerAmp, how to use Keepa, what a good product looks like, and now I want to show you guys how you actually list your products on Amazon as well. So listing products on Amazon used to be really confusing, so that's why we actually put together Boxem, which is our listing and shipment software. You can try Boxem out completely free for 2 weeks just on Boxem.com. After that, to list, ship, and manage your Amazon business, it's only $50 a month. For example, right here. So Boxem, you get a 2-week free trial. All we need to do to list Amazon FBA inventory, which what it makes sense to do as a beginner, instead of shipping products off in bulk to the Amazon warehouse, you can just sell your products individually right there. And all listings we took a look at today, for the most part, had people FBMing on them, and FBM allows you to learn quicker, test lighter, so you can buy really small quantities of stuff and just get a better overall experience than waiting like 2 to 3 weeks or 1 week, for example, for the products to actually get to the Amazon warehouse. Right, so we're here inside Boxem, then we just want to go ahead and hit fulfillment type, FBM, nice and easy. Ship from address, you can actually add as many of these as you want within reason, right? And you can actually ship products off on vacation if you want, just change the ship from address right there. Autofill list price, I like having that on for Amazon FBA, I actually don't like that for FBM specifically right there. And then we just need to go ahead and hit create FBM listing right here. And now we can go ahead and search a specific products, like we can look up all those Jellycat listings, for example, right here. So you just go ahead and hit new SKU or replenish a SKU if it's a product you're restocking, for example, right here. I'm gonna go ahead and just put in the ASIN of these boxes, for example, right here. Just hit new SKU. Then I wanna go ahead and hit offers and then set price. Pretty much just match the buy box, for example, in most cases right there. Go ahead and enter our supplier costs, say we paid 14. Let's say we got 5 units right there. Condition, new, SKU gets created, boom, create FBM listing right here. You can do multiple products per batch right here as you're going ahead and listing stuff right there. You can also do FBM and FBA on the same Amazon account at the same time too, which is really helpful as well. And then to just get this listed, you just go ahead and submit FBM listings, nice and easy right there. And overall, guys, what I largely attribute my success early on selling on Amazon was definitely just really getting into it really hard and owning that this is something I had to make work. That desperation and work ethic really made me find profitable products quick, and using those different discounting mechanisms I talked about, like discounted gift cards, tax exempt, different coupon strategies, and taking advantage of holiday sales fast approaching, like early Black Friday sales, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas, and New Year's that are coming up in the next couple months right there. Another really helpful thing I did too was just get in the game and talk to other Amazon sellers on social media. There's a really small chance you have anyone in your life right now that sells on Amazon. Luckily though, there's tons of people on Amazon in our free Discord community, I'll put a link to down below in the description, that want to talk about this stuff, that want to get on Zoom, that want to mastermind, that want to be in group chats with you. Overall, finding a friend group of other Amazon sellers is incredibly helpful and important on your journey. It could literally just be in the comments of this video. I know it's an awkward thing to like meet people on the internet. That's just the way the world works for internet money in 2024, guys. So if you guys enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe. Let me know any questions in the comments right there. Go ahead and get going on this stuff, guys. It's sitting there waiting for you. Go ahead, get SellerAmp, Keepa, Boxem, start doing some product research, start getting some FBM sales up right there. And if you want personalized one-on-one help directly from me, take a look at the link in the description for my coaching program application right there. If you want to work directly with me and have coaching from me this Q4, take a look at that. Take a look at this video for more free Amazon seller game, and I'll see you guys in the next one.